say that probably over the next 10 years, the people that are going to thrive the most, the people that are going to have the happiest, they're going to be the happiest are the ones who can focus. Right now, is that you. The world is trying to sell you and take your mind. It's trying to tell you what you want, who you are, what you don't have enough of, and what you need to take to make you feel whole, healed, and happy. And the person that's going to know the most about what you really, really need is you. And maybe if you don't know, perhaps you don't know, but if you get to the stillness and you get to listen to your interior voice, you'll know. So sit down with me and pour yourself a cup of hot coffee. I like mine cold. Or some hot tea. Get out your journal and untame that pen, and let's talk about this. One thing I want to make very clear is I'm not your voice. I want to liberate your voice, and that's why we're here. So listen up. You can take anything that I say, or you can throw it out. You can journal about it and get wild, or you can keep it moving. It's your choice all the time.
Just make peace with it. I'm holding space. I'm just making peace with it. When we're feeling that we want to make peace with something, it means that we're probably at war with something. And if we're at war with something, there's an emotion in our body, there's a constriction in our body, we're triggered very easily when something shows up in our lives that reminds us of that same feeling. And so these feelings just keep on bottling up. They're actually laying tracks or grooves in your internal program, in your subconscious mind. And so you're always going to find that you're more and more disturbed by something that you have not made peace with. Making peace with something is not at all sitting in with your legs crossed in lotus in Chin Mudra with a smile on your face, necessarily. Making peace with something means that that thing you're at war with, that emotion that you're at war with, invite that thing for tea. Set them down and have a discussion. And you'll do that with your journal. Journaling wild. Writing to imagine, listen, decide, and declare. And that is the journaling technique that I have written about in Beyond Words, Finding Fulfillment Between the Lines, my book. All about how to do this kind of journaling. But let's do some journaling together. And I want to journal about this concept of just make peace with it. So we hear these phrases, holding space, make peace with it. And when I hear make peace with it, I'm thinking, I'm sitting cross-legged in Chin Mudra, and I'm thinking, oh, everything's good, everything's great. I'm making peace with, I don't know if I'm making peace. For this moment, I feel better. And I want to give you a technique that'll dig deeper and create internal peace and resolve some of the conflict that's going on in your mind body. So talk about emotions. I talk about a not so upbeat emotion in my book, that we have an upbeat emotion, default emotion, and we have a not so upbeat default emotion. My upbeat default emotion is appreciation. That's where I typically go for whatever happens to me in my life. I'm very appreciative. And my not so upbeat default emotion is disappointment. So if something not so great happens to me, my first feeling is disappointment. But as I've journaled even more about that, I found out that under disappointment for me is anger. I'm angry. So I want to make peace with anger, with the fact that I lead to disappointment and then anger, or anger and the disappointment. But I want to journal about anger. So the first thing I want you to do is that you think about an emotion that is a go-to emotion that's not so upbeat, a default emotion that you typically go to. And it could be grievance, you're just complaining, or and then what's underneath complaining? Is it humiliation? Is it anger? You want to just figure out what that emotion might be for you. We're going to look at that emotion and we're going to look at the things that have caused that emotion the most in your life and make peace with those events, which is going to help you make peace with that emotion. So let's take anger. The first thing that I would want to do is I would want to write down in my history. Because if you have a default emotion, it means that certain things have happened in your life to trigger that emotion so often that it actually comes automatically when something disappointing happens. It's a triggered emotion. So I want to go through my life and write down times when I felt really angry, like really angry because there was disappointment there. And I wrote down about 6 times. So you might have 2, you might have 10. I wrote down about 6 times when I was in a full throttle gear of anger. And I wrote what happened. And maybe I only wrote, about 5 sentences, 6 sentences, and maybe one of them a little bit longer, because I just want to flesh it out. And then the technique that I want you to use to make peace with this thing you're at war with is ho'oponopono. 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 And it's Hawaiian forgiveness restoration technique to clean your vibration. And whenever we're cleaning our mind and making peace with something that we're at war with, we're cleaning our vibration. Because remember, if you're at war with something, it's got a hold on you and you're battling internally. So you want to clean our energy field with ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono consists of 4 phrases. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, and thank you. I'm sorry, thank you, I love you, please forgive me. And I purposely told you the phrases in a different order because it doesn't matter the order that you apply them. You just apply all 4. So you'll take your 6 items that triggered whatever that default emotion for you is, that not so upbeat default emotion. You'll take your 6 items and you start with the first one and you'll read it. And then you will write down, I love you. And you write all of the things about that item that you love. And maybe that item caused you to love. So if I take, for example, I'll take a time when a man left me, a partner left me. And it really just kind of was lying to me about a lot of things. And and I'll write, so I feel like I've forgiven this person, but the idea of anger still lingers. Do you know? That's why I'm laughing. Because this person, I think I've forgiven them, but I have the anger because it's accumulated more than once. Not that somebody's left me, but that I've been lied to. That's accumulated more than once, so I laugh about that because I have anger about that. That's the piece I haven't forgiven, is being lied to several times. So I'll take that, where I was lied to, and the events, and I'll go, I love you. And I'll write, I love you, because even though it took you a long time to get out of that relationship, you got out and you didn't look back. Even though it was hard, you did it, Michelle. And then I'll write, I love you, because there were a lot of good things that I'm talking to this person, that you did for me, and I love you for that. I love you, because there were aspects of love that I'd never experienced before until you. And though I don't blame you, because you have your own issues, I love that I got to experience those feelings of love in myself. So this is how you apply, I love you. Then you'll go to, I'm sorry, and you'll write, I'm sorry that it's hard for me to have contact with you. I'm sorry that I didn't leave sooner. I'm sorry that I didn't speak up for myself. Because you're going to get a chance to do a do-over. So you can say, I'm sorry that I didn't tell you off immediately. I mean, you go there. I'm sorry that I let myself, Michelle. I'm sorry, Michelle. I let you be drugged through such a hard situation, and I wasn't there to protect you, Michelle. And these are just different archetypes of yourself talking. So you see how this works. Thank you. And you say thank you for the fun that we had together, even though it was a few times, thank you for that. And also thank you for contacting me after we broke up and telling me that you were sorry. And thank you, and then I'll list all of those things. And including, this is an important one if you're doing with an old relationship, but thank you because of you. I really have clarified the voice of love inside myself because of you. And then the last one is, please forgive me. And you'll write all of the things that you feel about that, and even things toward yourself. Please forgive me, Michelle, as if there's another aspect of you talking. Please forgive me, Michelle, for not seeing your worth. Please forgive me, Michelle, for not having a voice for you. So you can repeat things and just say them a different way. And then you'll go to item number 2 and do ho'oponopono, all 4 of those statements with item number 2 until you're done with all of your items. And you do this, you write this in your journal. I will tell you this, that there's an aspect of yourself, because you have many archetypes, many characters within you, because the world's a stage. And I will tell you this, that there's going to be an aspect of yourself that's listening, and an aspect of yourself that's there in the event, reliving it. And then there's going to be an aspect of yourself declaring the nowness, my phone, that's declaring the nowness of who you are right now. And so you're going to get all of these goodies by applying ho'oponopono to your wild journal today. I'm creating an empire. An empire. Have you seen a mouth that big before? I'm creating an empire of journalists. Don't worry, I'm home alone.